Check.
Picked up by number 2, Ryan Voodoo. Patriots to take over first down at the Falcons' 25-yard line.
After some annual technical difficulties, we are live for the first broadcast of the 2024 Poolesville football season. Poolesville, and a fumble on the first offensive snap gives Wootton the ball in Poolesville territory, and a first-yard rush all the way down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Setting up a... They've got sophomore quarterback Hunter Humphreys at the helm. First year on varsity, has developed a strong connection over the offseason with wide receiver Brian Ngozo. This one's going to be a handoff up the middle, a missed tackle on the outside, cuts to the inside, gets the first down and more inside it through their first 2 plays. Already deep into Poolesville territory, looking to get on the board early and fast. Humphreys in the shotgun, back to his left, 2 receivers out left, 1 out right, tight end on the right. Handoff up the middle again. This one is smothered. Stopped behind the line for a 1-yard loss. Great defensive play there by Dylan Hopkins, the linebacker who was one of their best players all around last season, making an early impact for the Falcons defense as they look to stop this Wootton drive. Humphreys once again lining up 5 wide, 3 to his right, 2 to his left. Motions number 6 across the line of scrimmage. Takes the snap, looks to his left, fires that way, complete, caught inside the 5-yard line, but brought down quickly by the Falcons defense. Brian.
Patriots looking at a 3rd and goal.
3-yard passing game brings them to the 5-yard line. Needing a score here, have to capitalize on that early forced turnover if you're the Wootton defense. On the Poolesville side, obviously looking to negate any points here, hoping to hold them to a field goal, but if you can force a turnover, that's the ideal outcome. Yeah, and looking at these both teams, very Poolesville Falcons. Falcons went on to go 1-9 and 0-2 in their region, picking up their first and only win of the season in the last regular season week against a very, I would say, not great Watkins Mill team. Wootton going 5-6, but losing 62-0 against Frederick in their 1 playoff game. So 2 big playoff blowouts to end these teams' seasons last year, looking to get back on a good note this year. By safety, Deshaun Stanton, he is letting him know it. They gave the ball to Tyler Siegel on that 3rd down, tried to cut back inside, but Stanton was having none of it. Obviously, a massive 4th down here early in the game. They are going to set up to the field goal. Carlos Perez looking to kick it in. Should be a chip shot, but once again, high school with kickers, you really just through the uprights and the first points of the 20th lead. Yeah, obviously kind of recapping some of the stuff that we did indeed miss after the technical difficulties. 2nd year in a row doing this, 2nd year in a row with technical difficulties. But yeah, little bounce pooch kick fielded by Deshaun Stanton. He took it out to around the 50-yard line. First snap, fumbled. They tried to get it to the running back, Jerome Watterson. Did not pick it up. Wootton got it, ran it back to the Poolesville 30. And obviously not what you want to see there from the Poolesville team, as in a season where they went 1-9 last year, a lot of those small mistakes coming back to bite them, a lot of those big mistakes ending games early. You saw a lot of those games ending at halftime with some of the fans. You're going to want to try and move the ball a little bit. You have to answer after the 3-0 field goal, and you have to show that even though they did lose a lot of players last year, this is indeed a different team for the better. Lining up for the kick, Reed Kimball, the sophomore, and Stanton, the senior, back to receive it. Kimball will take it from the 1-yard line, tries to set up his blockers to the right, cutting up field. It's going to be hit once again. It's setting up onto the field to try and regain the lead here. And looking at their backfield leader, they've got a lot of guys, showed a lot of Carter Rice last year, kind of had him mixing in with Aiden Kang, two of those senior leaders that they're trusting on this team. This year, Kang getting the starting quarterback role solely, Rice moving out to the outside. Obviously going for a little bit of a different look, a little bit of the same, trying to see what they can do here with a new offensive scheme, new offensive game plan, trying to start off hot. As it's going to be Kang in the shotgun. He has Cage Tupa, the star senior, to his left field. Got some good blocks. Wasn't able to set up a big enough hole to push through there. Does get a decent gain on the first down. Set up a 2nd and 8. Yeah, and looking once again at that struggle season last year, the biggest thing they need to do is get ahead of the sticks, get some of those bigger gains on 1st and 2nd down. They got themselves in a lot of some of the bigger schools, some of the college pro level teams. You're going to have to try and establish that run early, get the ball moving in a positive direction, and stop getting those negative plays. As Kang is going to toss this one to Watterson again, has Hopkins in front of him, but a great tackle in the backfield stops him for a gain of nothing. And just a great play. Tried to get it to Watterson again on the outside, but number 33, the linebacker, coming in from his middle of the field spot, making that big tackle. Once again, I just said it, setting up those 3rd and longs, what the Poolesville offense is going to try and want to avoid. They've hit with one immediately. The two things they really struggled with last year that led to the 1-9 season was those turnovers and was a lot of these behind the sticks plays. You're seeing a turnover on the first drive. You're seeing a long 3rd and 8 on the 2nd drive. We'll see how they're going to approach it here. It's Kang's taking the snap, rolling to his right, fires to the outside, almost picked off. Tried to get it to Sam Lewis on the outside, trying to sneak that one in for the first down, but number 6 came in, once again, not having it. Some electric plays early from this Wootton defense, flying around the middle of the field, flying around the side of the field, and making this Poolesville offense work, as now they're going to be in punt formation as they had last drive. Senior Jack Stokes, number 1 back there. He was the primary kicker last year. Didn't do a lot of the punting. That was left up to Seth Lamar, who was their outstanding linebacker and punter, as he gets his first punt of the season away. It is a bit of a short one, but it does take a good Poolesville bounce and floats inside the 45, down by sophomore Aaron Canales. If you want to try and stay in this game and keep the ball moving, you got to get a stop here. As on the first play, one of those mental mistakes I was just mentioning, that's going to be junior defensive tackle penalty.
Flag on the play. I believe it's encroaching against the Falcons. It's a 5-yard penalty. Moves the ball to the Patriots 49, 1st and 5, Falcons. Patriots.
So you have a 2nd and 5 at the Wootton 48. So you once again, obviously high school, love to go shotgun a lot. You got Humphreys back there. He's going to fake the snap, looking deep, fires to the outside, has a man. That one's caught for the first down. A great throw and catch there outside to number 12, and a Wootton first down, moving the ball well early.
Reed Kimball, not before he picks up about
testing that first-year varsity player, Reed Kimball, on that outside route. Receiver was able to get to the outside, beat him on the comeback, catch the ball, get into Poolesville territory. And once again, we're seeing this Wootton offense looking good early and moving the ball how they would like to move the ball. Right, got receivers on the outside, sets one in motion. This is going to be a fake toss into a run, number 6, but that one is locked up. Johnny Smith with a big tackle at the line, but there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, number 6 brought down immediately by number 79.
And a great play by Johnny Smith, making that one up front, stopping just to about a 2-yard gain. But this one's going to be a face mask, and we're seeing once again some of those small mistakes coming back to bite them. You make the good play, you grab the face mask, goes from a good defensive stop to a 15-yard gain for the offense.
All the penalty is going to be a Patriots first down.
Once again, looking at some 5 wide here with Humphreys in the backfield. 2 to his left, 3 to his right. Takes the snap, looks over to his right, fires quickly. That's a catch. He's going to try and move forward, gets a good little push there back from number 12. And Evan Bush, the star senior receiver and DB, getting his mark on this game early with about a 7 to 8 yard gain to set up second and short. Yeah, we're seeing Evan Bush, Brian Gozo, two of those guys, they're going to have to step up big for head coach Ivan Hicks. Losing first-team all-region running back Jake Kelly last year's graduation, obviously. You're going to need some of those bigger playmakers to step up, some of those younger guys that are now being trusted as leaders of this team. Somebody like an Evan Bush, who's a senior, somebody like Brian Gozo, who's a junior. And we're seeing this early. And Gozo had a catch earlier, Bush with the grab there, trying to get the offense rolling, as this is another big play to the outside. Number 6 fighting his way down to the 10-yard line.
Brought down by Deshaun Stanton. About 5 yards.
Stanton making a lot of good plays for the Falcons on the outside in the secondary with tackling, but you are seeing those good blocks up front for that Wootton offensive line, just being able to push back the Poolesville defensive line and getting those gaps in the outside, in the inside, and then just forcing some of those crooked numbers on the plays and not being stopped behind the line. You see in that right tackle, one of the best players on their team, Ben Phillips, the senior. He's had a good season the past few years, looking to make it another one here. A bit undersized, but he's absolute mauler up front as another shotgun pass. Going to look to the outside, fires to the end zone. That one is caught. A toe tap drag. The flag on the play. No signal from the official yet. Waiting to see word on this. Didn't give incomplete, didn't give a touchdown. We're going to see what happens here. Official lining up once again. Flag was thrown early, and that's going to be a legal formation on the offense. So a potential big play for the Wootton offense to get on the board once again, nullified by that penalty. And, I mean, just an early break for that Poolesville defense. You got beat on the outside. They would have scored the touchdown, but the illegal formation, I'm assuming, was on that motion, never truly stopped and tried to get set, and that's going to negate a big touchdown, which is going to set up the 1st and 15. We're needing to get to around the 1 yard line if they want to get a first, obviously with the end zone 1 yard from there. Yeah, Hunter Humphrey's the quarterback. Been a big 7-on-7 standout this past summer. Was playing really well, developing a connection. They're trusting him to throw a lot. He's got a man over the middle, has the catch, and has the touchdown. Number 12 for Wootton, having himself a big game early. Also, that one's a bit on me. Goal line is a little bit faded. It will be a first down, but not a touchdown. Obviously, still having a big game early. From this angle, kind of leaning over a little bit. Can't really see where the goal line is. Kind of just eyeballing here for the most part. But we're seeing it. That's what I'm talking about. Hunter Humphrey, the sophomore, really getting into a groove early, really being able to kind of get those quick passes, get those connections, get working to different receivers, and having himself a good game early. Obviously, first game of the season, you're looking to get that connection. You're looking to get all those wrinkles ironed out of the new offense with a lot of new playmakers on that team. We're seeing success early for the Patriots. First and goal from the 1. Handoff up the middle, almost untouched into the end zone. Tyler Siegel straight up the gut, and Wootton will take a 9-0 lead with 3.5 minutes left in the first. I mean, one of those things I just mentioned a few minutes ago. We're seeing that Wootton offensive line kind of having their way with the Poolesville D-line, and that's something that if Poolesville wants to win this game, if they want to stay competitive in this game, they're going to have to stop that trend and be able to keep working forward, be able to start pushing that Wootton offensive line back. And the kick is blocked. Carter Rice, once again, talked about him moving to the outside. Gets a big block there, and that's one of those things you could see momentum start to shift. A team that's this young as Poolesville, this inexperienced, we kind of want to see some of those big plays from some players that are going to need to step up. With all the seniors leaving, they have 16 seniors on the team this year. A lot of them starting, pretty much all of them starting. You're going to want to see some more plays like that from Carter Rice, one of the more experienced players on the team, being able to get a hand in there. And while they still got the touchdown, stopping that 1 point could be big later on if this Poolesville offense starts to get going.
All right, number 28, Javon Cormier. Set the kick for the
straight to Stanton. Never mind, that's Aaron Canales, the sophomore back there. Don't know what happened to Stanton, but he's going to have a decent gain out to around the 25. Stanton had the good return early, taking him out there. Don't know if it's an injury, don't know if it's just alignment, but Aaron Canales in his first varsity action he's seen today with a good first touch on that one.
25 yards.
Poolesville offense going out once again. And one player I really want to see them get going is junior Sam Lewis. Second year on varsity, was one of their best offensive producers last year. Utilized a lot in the quick game. Kind of that shiftier inside-outside receiver. You can put him anywhere on the field. You can get him in motion. If you can scheme him up a lot of touches, you can scheme him up a lot of yards in space. He's going to make a lot of moves for you. He's going to get a lot of yards for you. And you could see a star produce. As Lewis in motion, Kang going to hand it off to Watterson again, trying to work to the outside, works back inside, and a big hit layered on him. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Number 40 coming in with the big boom.
No gain on the play. Second and 10.
Can you tell the announcer that for Wootton, number 28, Siobhan Cormier, is actually number 6.
Okay.
He's on defense and offense, number 6.
Okay. I can do that thing. See Kang once again in shotgun. Hopkins out to his left. Flag on the play. A big hit after the play, after the whistle. Let's see what this one is. Looks to be a false start on the Falcons' offensive line. And this is one of those units you're going to try and see a lot of some of those new faces, seeing who can step up. Losing some of those seniors last year, trusting guys like Hayden Myers, who went down with that injury last year but was a star before. The junior Ethan Schlossberger on the outside. You're trusting guys like Alan Doe and the Kojo Ankara, trying to get some of those guys in there. They had that big loss on the inside with number 56 senior Nick Faze. Big producer on them on offensive line and defensive line when he's been in the game, but a torn meniscus is going to have him out for the season. And once again, that's kind of going to be the story of this Falcons team. If they want to make a run, if they want to get some wins on the board, they're going to have some of those more unlikely producers step up and show that they belong here. Kang in the shotgun with Lewis in motion once again. Tries to cut him back. Kang going to run to the outside on the option. Runs forward. Hits into a Patriot wall. 2 defensive linemen breaking tackles and breaking him in the backfield. Just saw him last drive putting in the touchdown. Tyler Siegel making his impact early on this game from both sides. And that's a player where if you're the Poolesville coaching staff with head coach Brian Tupa, offensive line coach Scott David, some of the assistant coaches, you're going to want to see some of that game planning, see who Wootton's showing early. Obviously, the new teams on both sides, but if you start to see some playmakers coming out live on both sides, either game plan for that if it's you, game plan against that if it's them. Once again, another behind-the-sticks play, 3rd and about 16 here. They need to convert this. As Kang is going to roll out to the outside for a pass, fires over the middle, has Carter Rice for the catch, tries to make a move, breaks a tackle, and fights for the first down. A huge effort by senior Carter Rice, and he is going to have the Falcons first down. And pretty much on cue, exactly what you need there. Carter Rice moved to the outside, getting that catch on the outside, breaking some tackles, found the soft spot in the zone defense for Wootton, able to fight and get that outstretched arm above the first down marker and keep moving the chains on a very crucial 3rd and long there. Kang takes the snap, rolls out to the left this time, fires once again to Rice, takes the hit, gets the flag, and gets the catch. Carter Rice showing some toughness out of there from the senior. Coming in, grabbing it, getting hit hard. A helmet-to-helmet hit there for the Wootton defense. Really impressive that Rice was able to hang on to that one. Targeted him twice in a row, got hit hard, but was able to maintain possession and get down for the yards. Tack on the 15 with the helmet-to-helmet contact, and all of a sudden, this Poolesville offense is moving a little. those of us joining in, we have 37 seconds left in the first quarter. 9-0 Wootton lead. Eventful game so far. First play of the game was a Poolesville Falcons punt return by senior Deshaun Stanton, taking it out to the 50. They fumble. Wootton drives down. They hold them to a field goal, but an immediate 3-and-out gets Wootton the ball back. They took advantage of it. Now the Falcons, first time in Wootton territory, looking to make some noise here. As Kang rolling out to the right, tries to evade a tackle, but a swarm of defenders is on him immediately. Carlos Perez playing all over the field. He's kicking a little bit. He's receiving. He's catching the ball. He's on defense. He's doing whatever he wants to do. And against that Poolesville offensive line, tore them up, and he had no chance back there, Aiden Kang. And this is where you had that big gain. You got the first down on the 3rd and long, but immediately getting backed up. That will be the end of the first quarter. First quarter of Poolesville football in 2024. 9-0 deficit to Wootton. We're seeing over there on the sideline, Carter Rice trying to get the team hyped up. Had those 2 big catches, got the first down, got the little short gain on the next first down, got the helmet-to-helmet hit, got the extra yards. But that big sack there on Aiden Kang, that's going to move him back a little bit as we switch sides of the field. We're going to need to see something big out of that Poolesville offense. We saw the big play with Rice. We're going to have to see some people step up. We're going to have to see them make some plays.
Peyton Deo, Casey King, Elena Woods, Ulana Tao, Jalen Kalin, Danielle Lopez, Christabel Lacan Abioy, and Ava Saborgo as the manager. The 2024 Falcons cheerleaders. I'd like to remind all spectators that for safety reasons, running or flying on the bleachers strictly prohibited. There also should not be any spectators gathering on the bleachers.
As we come back here for the start of the second quarter, second and 16 after the first down sack. Poolesville offense in their 3rd possession of the game went fumble, 3-and-out, now here on their own 44, down 9-0 as we open this second quarter. Aiden Kang in the backfield, the senior quarterback, trying to make something happen. He's going to hand this one off to Jerome Watterson. Watterson hit immediately, gain of about 1, setting up a third and long once again.
Brought down by number 44, Grant McGraw, and number 7, Tyler Siegel.
And you're seeing a lot of those guys that they lost last year, some of the big seniors, some of the big leadership pieces on that team graduating. You're seeing, obviously, the 1-9 record, obviously, on the surface doesn't seem very good, but they did have a lot of bright moments in some of those games. And now you're just kind of seeing very new unit, a lot of players lost, kind of a new culture shift here in head coach Brian Tupa's second year as the head coach. You're trying to see them kind of work out some of the kinks in the offense, get some rhythm going. And this is a drive where, you had the big 3rd down play earlier. You can pick one up here. That's going to get the crowd going. That's going to get the team going. As Kang fumbles the snap, tries to get to the outside, has some room, throws it, but a great pass deflection on the outside. Tried to fit it into tight end Corey Gattens, but Brian Ngozo getting up there and batting that one away to force the 4th and long.
Broken up by number 40, Jude Amperfug.
Falcons punting unit once again coming onto the field. Yeah, that's where you really want to see. You had those early plays. You got to try and get something going. Now you're just hoping the defense can get a stop once again, get the ball back in your hands, try and get something going on the next drive. That's kind of how this team is going to go. That's how this season is going to go. You're going to need a lot of step up from the defense. You're going to need a lot of people to step up on the offense and just being able to get people from both sides moving. As this one's going to be a bit of a short punt. Bounces off of the Wootton player. Rice is over it. He has the fumble recovery and a huge swing for the Poolesville Falcons. That is a regain of possession. Carter Rice with the heads-up play, having himself a great start to his senior season, picking up the fumble and a 4th and long punt. Sure thing turned into a Falcons possession change again. And that's kind of some of those breaks that you have to capitalize on. Getting something like that to happen, getting that little mistake by the Wootton special teams, hitting off the back of the player, not really looking. Rice comes in, picks up the fumble, and now you're in prime position to get some points on the board. Lewis in motion once again. The handoff to the inside, trying to go back to Watterson, making some moves, but gets hit pretty quickly. Another short gain on first down. Man, Evan Bush, the senior for Wootton. You've seen a lot of some of their seniors step up. Guys like Evan Bush. You've seen just guys all over the field. Bush and Siegel. Evan Bush, senior wide receiver DB. Got Tyler Siegel, running back, defensive end. Just kind of doing what they want to do out here for the Wootton defense, for their offense as well. Obviously, high school, seeing guys play both sides of the field is not uncommon. And we're seeing some of those Wootton Ironman players having good games for themselves so far. Kang looking to get the offense going. Tries to set up the passing game once again. Hitting the backfield, stiff-armed and sat down. Back outside around the original line of scrimmage. Another big play there from that Wootton defensive line. Jude Ampifo having himself another good game. Seen a lot of players on this Wootton side having good games early. Jude Ampifo onto the Falcons offense early in this one. Setting up once again a 3rd and long. Kicker Jack Stokes has hit some 45-yarders in practice. Was a bit inconsistent during last year's game action. Didn't have a lot of opportunities. This is a 3rd down where you want to see if he can pick back up some yards if you can't get the first down. Maybe he's set up in position to go for it or for the longer field goal. As we're going to toss it out to Sam Lewis in the backfield, but he is hit hard. Just mentioned him, the senior Tyler Siegel, making a big play in the backfield, and that almost guarantees that to push them out of field goal range. Stokes has one of the bigger legs in Montgomery County, but trusting him on a 50-plus yarder this early into the season, already down 9-0, is likely not the best choice, as it looks like they will send him out there to punt. And trying some delayed trickery there by the Poolesville offense, getting a little reverse jet sweep toss out to Sam Lewis. Tried to get a guy who's very elusive, very electric with the ball in his hands, can make people miss, make some moves. But when you have a guy flying in there as big and as fast as Tyler Siegel is, nothing much you can do about that. The Stokes' line drive punt is going to bounce, take a good bounce to stay in. Racer Anderson will down it at the 5. Fantastic punt there from Jack Stokes. He's been making one of the biggest impacts on this team early. Getting some of those turnovers on punts, getting some of those punts that are flipping the field. And that's where you're seeing some guys, obviously some unlikely positions, unlikely players. You're going to want to see people step up if you want to get back in this game and have a chance to win.
Patriots will take over on offense, keep them on the territory, 5-yard line.
And we talked about imposing the will, seeing what the Wootton defense has done to the Poolesville offense. This is where you kind of want to see a big get back from that Poolesville defense. You've got them deep in their own territory. The good punt by Stokes. You can force a 3 and out with high school punters being, not the greatest. You can get some good field position. Obviously, you missed out on points the last drive, but being able to get a quick stop here would put them in a good position to get some the next drive. As Humphreys is going to look up, he has a man open, downfield, caught by number 9, tries to break a tackle all the way out to the 49-yard line. A big completion on 1st and 10 to start the drive. And just like that, the Wootton offense is moving the ball. And we're seeing some little coverage miscommunication deep there in the secondary. Kind of allowed number 9 slipping past the defense, getting deep, wide open pass, delivered perfectly by Humphreys, right in the bucket, and he got a big first down and a big start to this drive. Humphreys once again in the shotgun, takes the snap, early handoff up the middle, has space outside, Hit hard by Racer Anderson on the outside, but a good gain on first down for about 4 by number 6, Shavant Cormier. Is a flag in the backfield, though. Once again, a break could be coming for the Falcons defense. As it looks like they are moving back. Will be a unsportsmanlike conduct after the play on the Wootton offense. Got a little bit too confident, got a little bit too cocky after that one. And maybe a late hit, maybe some late trash talk is going to move them back 15 yards. And that's one of those where after allowing some big plays early in the drive, allowing that good first down gain, getting a penalty like that, these next few plays is where you're going to have to lock in, get focused, start to get some negative plays for them. You've seen on that offense trying to go backwards a little bit. Obviously not what you wanted to do there. This is where you got to see some people step up on the defense, some of those senior, older leaders just trying to impose their will, make something happen, and force this Wootton offense into a more uncomfortable spot, which they haven't been in many spots this game early. Humphreys dropping back, firing deep once again, has a man into the bucket. A beautiful throw and catch there. Hunter Humphreys, a beautiful throw. Talked about it earlier, his connection with Brian Ngozo, and once again showing how good he can be, showing that natural arm talent, showing what some of that offseason work can do to a duo, can do to a team's offense. Another big play for a Wootton offense that is looking incredible so far. They're getting the big plays, they're getting the short plays. This is where the Poolesville defense, already 9-0 in the second quarter, almost halfway through. You're going to need them to start stepping up, going to need them to start making some plays. Here's where it starts. You got to get somebody over there saying, this is where we're going to stop them. High school kickers, obviously, said it, but I'll say it again. It's like beating no drum, but you kind of have to. They're not the best in the world. Obviously, nothing is really a chip shot here. And on the edge of field goal range for the Wootton offense, you're going to want to make some plays here. See if you can push them out of it like they did to you on your last drive. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Siegel. Siegel breaking tackles, but goes down. It's going to be Justin Pulowski. Sophomore, pulled up from JV at the end of last year, getting some starting snaps this year with all the seniors leaving at the end, playing some tight end, playing some linebacker, making a solid hit on the outside there.
That's now the 14-yard line.
They have a 2nd and 6 from the Falcons' 14-yard line. Going 5 wide again. They'd like to go back to this. We'll see what they do here as Humphreys drops back. Pressure on the inside from Alex Rich. Doesn't get there. Fires to the back of the end zone. And he has him 2 feet in. And a beautiful throw and catch once again. Hunter Humphreys having a great game early here. And a beautiful pass to the outside to number 12 in the back of the end zone for another Wootton score to extend the lead to 15 here early. Obviously, that's one of those plays where we'd love to have some instant replay just to show you slow motion how good of a throw and catch that was. With the camera quality up here, not the greatest, I don't entirely know if that camera was able to catch the entire play, but just a beautiful throw. Alex Rich, the sophomore inside linebacker, was able to get up the middle, force some pressure, force him out to his right, but just an absolute beautiful ball. And they're going to go for 2 here. Had the blocked extra point last time. Humphreys doing pretty much the same thing. Fires to the end zone. He has him. Evan Bush working back to the ball, working inside the Falcons defense. And that is an easy pitch and catch for the 2-point conversion. And 17-0 midway through the second quarter. The Wootton offense and Wootton defense just looking like a very complete unit here.
Hey fans, if you're skipping supper to be here tonight, I have good news for you. You don't have to. The amazing Poolesville Grill team has prepared supper for you. We have pulled pork, pulled chicken, pulled corn, all the fish.
Yeah, they're saying their names. I'll have to ask them in there. Let me ask. Yeah.
Obviously, sorry for any of those brief interruptions we're seeing up in here. Obviously, it's a high school press box. Stuff's going to happen. People are walking through here. I am in the booth closest to the door, so you got people coming in, the announcing, people from Palms, people going all the way up and over here. So you just kind of got to bear with me. Some audio issues, technical difficulties. you know, what else is new? If you watch some of the broadcasts from last year, this is definitely not a rare occurrence. You know, just got a camcorder and a Chromebook up here, just a kid living his dream, you know, so not much in the form of high quality here. We are going to see another line drive kick fielded by Stanton. No, it's going to go by Stanton down to around the 5. He's got to pick it up. He does. Works to the inside, and a big tackle there immediately by the Wootton special teams unit. And a bit of confusion on the back end of that play with Stanton not knowing where the ball was going to bounce. Took a Wootton hop inside the 5. And after that big score touchdown from Wootton, up 17-0, the Falcons inside the 10-yard line. Once again, starting at the 6, and the offense continues to try and form any sort of rhythm.
You can visit the Booster Club for immediate support this evening at their tent near the concession stand. You can also visit online to sign up at phsboosterclub.org.
So off to my left, we got the student section trying to get up, trying to support their Falcons. Struggles in the season last year. Obviously don't want to see it going as it has this year. Trying to get some points back. This is a drive. We're 5:40 in the game. You don't get the ball after half. You're going to want to see some movement. Going to want to see some stuff happen. At the very least, if you're not getting points, get some sort of good, encouraging signs as we go into the second half soon. Some early movement. Nothing called. Kang to the outside. Rice once again with the catch. Up to around the 15-yard line, and that's what they've got to continue to do. Getting ahead of the drive, getting ahead of the sticks on those first and second downs. Kang liking Rice out early. His first game starting at receiver in this season. Obviously, it's everyone's first game. Don't really know where I was going with that one. But hey, it's my first game, their first game. There's going to be some mistakes on both sides. You know, well, what else can you do? Here we're seeing Rice. Kang looking at him a lot early. Talked about Sam Lewis earlier, kind of making those, like, got a good possession receiver, good ball in his hands, could be able to move around. We're seeing the same thing from Rice early, just being able to find those soft spots in the zone, able to beat some man coverage, able to beat anything. Get those short passes. They're going to help them out in the long run. As Kang tries to move forward, another big hit laid on him by the Wootton defense. Grant McGraw stepping up in the pocket. Kang tried to make something. You had the big play on first down, trying to get something going on second down, nothing doing with the sack. Big third down once again. With how potent, how fast this Wootton offense is looking, their ability to get the big plays. With 4.5 minutes left and counting on the clock, you give the ball back to them too early, you could see yourself in an even bigger hole, which makes this a crucial third and short. As Kang, pressure on him, tries to escape it. He can't, he does! Moving to the outside, tries to move forward, but only gets the back to about the line of scrimmage. Great job by him as able to get out of the sack. He looked dead to rights in the backfield. Does make something out of it, but that will end up in another fourth down as Stokes once again trotting out onto the field. Going to try and punt. And with backed up this far, you're going to try and want to get a line drive, maybe get some bounces in there, some favorable bounces, because if this one goes too high, if it gets back to number 12 too quickly, then you can see Wootton having really good field position, already up 17-0, with the Poolesville defense showing some early signs of struggle so far. So this one is blocked straight up into the air. Won't be fielded. It will be kind of kicked around, but another big play by Wootton on all sides of the ball. It looked like the snap was a bit high. Once Stokes got it down and got it away, there was two Wootton defenders in his face, batting that one up into the air. And Wootton, the Patriots, will start with the ball at the 15-yard line. This is kind of the trap that you can get into if you're kind of moving the sticks in the wrong way, if you're getting the ball back deep in your own territory. With the strength of legs, strength of the punters and kickers, and just strength of the whole mental game at the high school level, obviously not what it is at the college and pros, you're going to see that some of these teams, they're going to have the ball deep in your territory. You're not going to be able to get out of yours. And getting into a pattern like that, already down by a lot, is not where you want to be. You're going to want to make some big plays here. If you can hold them to a field goal, hold them to something. An early penalty going to be either a false start or a delay of game. Not entirely sure. Will move Wootton back 5 yards.
False start.
Yeah, false start on the offense.
20-yard line, first and 15.
And mentioned a lot last year in some of their early struggles, Poolesville. Seeing those mental mistakes and little mistakes by the opposing team, you got to capitalize on that. They set up with the 1st and 10 inside your 15-yard line. The 5-yard penalty is going to move them back. You got to make some plays here. As Humphreys has a lane to run, he chooses to take it. Tupa getting to the outside, and a great tackle by Cage Tupa. One of their best players on defense, one of their most explosive players on defense, ranging out from his linebacker spot, getting to the sideline and bringing him down. And I mean, Humphreys looked to have a lot of room to go, was able to pick up the 7 yards, but if Tupa was not there, that could have gone for a lot more.
Patriots looking at a 2nd and 8 from the top and 13-yard line.
Shavant Cormier in the backfield. He's been one of their strong running backs. Him and Siegel having some good games. They go back to him, cuts up to the inside, runs through Poolesville defenders, and he is in for another Wootton score. The Patriots going up once again. There is an injured Falcon down on the field. That might be Cage Tupa holding his hand. Looked to get up a bit gingerly after the tackle he made on the previous play. And he's in some pain now. Has dealt with some injuries in some earlier years, kind of all over his leg area. It doesn't appear to be a leg injury. Obviously, from back here, no coach communication or anything. Can't entirely tell what it is. But at this point, just hope the kid's okay. Yeah, kicking his legs a little bit. Don't really know what the injury is. Struggling with a little bit of knee pain early on this week, but was good enough to play. Seemed to have no restrictions going into this one, seeing the amount of snaps he's taken. Definitely not what you want to see here. One of your best players on both sides of the ball going down with the staff still tending to him. We'll be right back.
Going down there and get you something to eat. All the usual goodies, hot dogs, hamburgers, pizza, chicken fingers, mozzarella sticks. Tonight's special is some barbecue, pulled chicken and pulled pork.
Standing ovation in the crowd as Tupa leaves the field. Now holding that left shoulder. Don't know if he landed on it wrong. Don't know if he was hit by somebody. But yeah, still moving a bit weird off the field too with his legs. Holding that left shoulder is once again not what you want to see from a player who has been so integral to their success on offense and defense when he's been available. That's kind of been one of the big things that he struggled with the past few years, being available, staying away from those injuries. Yeah, hope he's okay going to the sideline. Hope he's able to make an impact later. Down 23, could be 24-0 after this extra point. He's a guy they need to get going. He's a guy they need to be on the field making an impact. But as this one kicks through the uprights, up and good with 2:16 left in the half. A 24-point Patriot lead. The first half of football for the Poolesville Falcons in 2024. Assuming that's not how they planned it, not how they lined it up, but let's see, obviously probably time for about one more drive. See if you can maybe go get some points here, go move the ball a little bit. And see if you can get some stuff going in the second half. Stay down by this much this early. You're going to want to see some things go on. Mentioned a little bit earlier how obviously, first game of the season, a lot of new starters, a lot of guys, they're playing a lot bigger roles than they have in previous years. Just kind of trying to go through those struggles, trying to go through those early season kinks. You see it at every level of football. It's not something you can really avoid. But with the Wootton offense, Wootton defense, the whole Wootton squad looking as good as it is, You're going to want to see some good signs quickly as Kimball is going to take it. Weed Kimball, that is, makes a good move up to about the 25. And a good return. Looks to be at the 24-yard line. Weed Kimball, obviously big story here for this Poolesville team. Sophomore, plays baseball in the spring. First year playing football with the team. His brother, Russell Kimball, the senior quarterback, backing up Aiden Kane tonight. Seeing the two brothers playing in their first Poolesville football game together for the high school at the same time is definitely pretty cool. But, yeah, I mean, just two guys you talk about a lot. Just trying to find those guys in this unprecedented, unforeseen position situations. I want to see, I mean, like, it's one of those down 24-0. Went 1-9 last year, trying to get off to the better start this season, not looking good early, but you're going to want to see if you get some of those encouraging signs from some players, get out in the second half, make some stuff happen. But you want to see what they can do here, down 24 with the ball as Kang looks to his left, tries to go back to his right, evades the sack, fires it out to Watterson. Watterson gets wrapped up quick, and that will be a no gain on the play. So a lot of movement around, a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving everything, but the completion is actually a loss of 1. And that's one of those we've seen a lot of these longer developing plays. Some of those wideouts of Poolesville not able to get open as early as they probably would have liked. And just having to have guys move around as much as they are, having to make some stuff happen. With Aiden Kang being a very run-first quarterback with, I mean, he's got good arm talent, but he's a lot better when he's moving, a lot better when he's roaming around. And making him kind of make some of those split-second decisions, making him kind of force balls into places that he doesn't want to throw to, that's not a recipe for success, especially this early in the season when miscommunications are a lot more prone to happen. Kang fires across the middle once again. A nice snag by Corey Gattins working back to the ball. A rip from Kang across the middle has Gattins for his first reception of the night. And that will set up with a 3rd and 5 from the, or about 3rd and 4, sorry, from the 31. And a timeout by the Poolesville coaching staff. 58 seconds, just under a minute here in the first half of 2024 Poolesville Falcons football. Serenaded by the band right in front of us, playing some of their tunes in between plays, in between snaps. It's one of those things where, I mean, Friday Night Lights, nothing much that can beat it, just the atmosphere, student section getting hype over to my left, the flags waving, the body paint on. Hoping to see their Falcons turn this game around. And a big 3rd down here with under a minute left to go in the first half. With Kang looking to his left, tries to find somebody open, no one's there, rolling out, fumbles the ball, picked up by the Wootton. No, it will be picked up. Recovered by Corey Gattins, looked to be running to the outside, and the ball just slipped out of his hands. Wootton's Evan Bush had a prime opportunity to recover that one, but kind of kicked it off of his knee. And Poolesville fortunate to recover, but there is an injury on the play. Lampofo, their star linebacker, down in pain around the 15-yard line. Weird looking play. Once again, talked about it a little bit earlier. Kind of forcing Kang to move around, make those decisions on the run, not getting guys open early. That's something that obviously they want to change. They've tried to change some of the quick game, but forcing him into those long situations early in this one has not led to success in the offensive side. And just a weird looking play. It was running to the outside. Don't know if he kicked it. Don't know if he just dropped it. But the ball was on the ground. Wootton, 2 players kicked it around. Corey Gattins, the Falcons tight end, just fortunate to hop on that one. And they'll get a chance at a punt with 42 seconds left here instead of Wootton's offense starting with the ball at inside the Falcons red zone, which is definitely a big break for them, albeit leading into a 4th down.
All right, put your hands together for number 10, Matthew 2. Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him going out.
Povo kind of able to walk off under his own power, getting a little bit of help from his side, but once again, seeing two guys go down to injury early. Tupa on the Falcons side, and then Povo on the Patriots side. Just hoping they're okay. Obviously, don't wish injuries on anyone, especially this early into the season. Just hoping those guys can go out there. I mean, once again, at the end of the day, it is the high school level. They're not getting paid to do this. They're not getting scholarships doing this. So just hoping that obviously health and having fun, definitely the two biggest concerns in a game like this, especially considering the fact that it's week 1 with how much season we have ahead of us. See, most of the Poolesville Magic so far in this game has been on the punts. Definitely a weird sentence to say, even myself. Don't think I've ever heard that one before. But the fumble, the good punts down inside. See if Stokes can do it again. So he'll go over the returner's head, take another good Falcons bounce. And a great job there by Jack Stokes, booting it from inside the 10, dropping all the way down inside the Wootton 35-yard line. While the Falcons haven't gotten much to go their way offensively and defensively, Jack Stokes, the senior kicker and punter, has had himself a great first half. Anyone joining us now, I'm Ian Harper with the Poolesville Sports Web. First game of the season for the Poolesville Falcons, down 24-0 in the first half. Just 25 seconds left here as the Wootton offense comes out to start. Once again, running that 5 wide, something you don't see a lot of high school teams do, yet they are here doing it. It's worked well for them in the past. Humphreys has made some good throws. He's going to try and do it again. Fires to the outside. It hasn't go through again, or goes through again, sorry. And that will be across the 50-yard line. With 17 seconds left, they will call a timeout. Just trying to get this one in the field goal range, but a big first down early. Being able to complete that first pass, how much time is left? We're seeing, I mean, now here's a guy. In the words of the great Chris Collins, now here is a guy. Hunter Humphreys, the sophomore quarterback, his first year on varsity, his first varsity start. He is having himself a really good start to this game. Pinpointing a lot of passes, short, intermediate, deep. Whatever they've asked him to do so far, he has been able to do it in stride. And that's one of those things where with halftime coming up in that Poolesville locker room, you got to wonder how big of an adjustment are they going to have to make? What are they going to try and do to stop? I mean, just this lethal offensive attack we've seen from Wootton. You got guys like Brian Ngozo, Evan Bush, and Hunter Humphreys at the start at the quarterback. You're going to want to have to make some sort of change because it's the first game of the season, but down 24-0 with Wootton having the ball right now and at the end of the half, and at the start of the second half, I should say, trying to go for that sort of 2-for-1 here if they can. You don't want to let them have that. Got to make some changes. They do get some pressure. He's able to get it out. Good pressure there in the backfield. That'll be Alex Rich, Corey Gattens, and Ethan Schlossberg. Rich is a first-year starter. Gattens and Schlossberg starting last year, just forming up back there, able to stop that. Looks like that will be intentional grounding. Yeah, intentional grounding. No receiver in the area. Obviously not out of the tackle box. And a great pressure by the Poolesville defense. Doesn't result in a sack, but they do get the 15-yard penalty. And with just 11 seconds left, makes Wootton getting any sort of points to end this half a lot less of a chance in that half. Once again, the pinnacle of Friday night high school.
On behalf of Poolesville High School staff and Principal Mark Welder,
24-0 to start the second half. Wootton does get the ball first. That'll be it from We are back here for the start of the second half, kicking off in the next few minutes. First Poolesville Falcons football action of the year. First half, 24 points for the Wootton Patriots. Nothing for the Poolesville Falcons. Very one-sided game up to this point. Seeing Hunter Humphreys, first varsity start for the Wootton Patriots, the sophomore having an incredible start to his sophomore season. Coming out the gates, firing, hitting from all levels of the field with his throws, being able to have some good connections to wide receiver Brian Gozo, Evan Bush, Tyler Siegel working good out of the backfield, getting some touchdowns, getting some catches and receptions and yards for them. But yeah, with about a minute and a half until we kick off the second half, Poolesville Falcons against Wootton as well. But I mean, they've got 16 seniors this year. A lot of new guys starting though. Had a bunch of seniors leave last year, and just seemed like they were a bit of a tick off. You know, like that's one of those things we saw last year for the first part of the season. They kind of got more to that at the end of the year. Did only finish with that one win that came in the last week of the season. But you just see just a little bit off in some of those plays, whether it be the coverage, whether it be the pass protection, defensive lineup, just kind of anything. One of those things going into the second half where we really want to see Coach Brian too, but in his second year, we saw some of the learning curve last year with a lot of new guys playing, new head coach, new scheme, new everything. Obviously, there's going to be some of those early season struggles. There's going to be some working out of those kinks. Going to be some just not being able to be in that full rhythm for a little bit until the season really gets going. But after going 1-9 last year, you really want to see if you can start to get going earlier this season, if you can fix some of those things in a quicker timeline than you did last year, especially with a very tough schedule. Next Thursday, facing off against Walkersville, who they faced twice last year, lost by over 50 points in both meetings. So facing some tough opponents on the road upcoming, really want to see if they can get back. They don't even win this game, obviously. Down 24, tall task trying to come back in this one. But if you can put up some points, put up some good drives together, go into that next game with some more momentum. And obviously, it's against a very good opponent in Walkersville. We've been told they're own against this team as well. But just any sign of life that you can see from this Poolesville team on pretty much all sides. Their special teams looked good, but their offense and defense not able to get stops, not really able to kind of move the ball on the offensive side. If they're able to get some of that stuff going in the second half, if they're able to move the ball, if they're able to pick up some stops, maybe they come back and win this game, maybe they come back and make it a game, but at the very least, going into next week, going into the season, having some more confidence in what has been not a great start and not a great first half. Start of the game, Wootton Patriots did win the coin toss. They deferred. Falcons took the opening kickoff. They will kick it off to Wootton now. Senior Jack Stokes, who's arguably been the best player for the Falcons team so far. Forced a fumble on a weird-looking punt, kind of punted it into a Wootton defender's back. It was recovered by Poolesville. Had some good punts, pinned him inside the 5 once, switched the field multiple times, and when the offense isn't really working, having a guy like Stokes to be able to knock in those good big punts, flip the field, get some of that stuff going, that's something that you're going to need. That's something that's going to be really big for you guys. So the line drive kick, that'll be into the end zone for a touchback. Good start to the second half. Stokes continuing his nice game, booting that one out of reach. Seeing some of the explosiveness from the players on that Wootton side. Keeping it out of their hands at this point is definitely a win. Kind of can't get around that.
Patriots will start first and 10 at their own 25-yard line, 20-yard line.
The Wootton offense mentioned led by sophomore Hunter Humphreys, had himself a game so far. Mentioned earlier about his connection over last offseason with Brian Gozo, the junior wide receiver wearing number 2. Played some 7-on-7 together, played some different offseason work. They were developing that connection. We saw that in a few longer passes here in the first half. We'll see how that looks now. Got some new faces on the defense for the Poolesville Falcons. Sophomore Aaron Canales playing outside D, bringing Stanton back in the secondary. Racer Anderson in the slot. Other than that, pretty standard lineup. As on the first play, before the first play, I should say, there is a flag. Looks to be a false start. No call yet. Something on the offense. Can't entirely tell what the call is. Ref kind of pointed to his chest, pointed back at the offense. So not sure what the call is, but that will be a 5-yard penalty and back them up. So first and 15 for the Wootton offense as we kick off this second half action. And it looks like they might have given that one right back. Alex Switch on the inside. Saw him jump a little bit there. Just got over the line, and he's going to come back out. And that's one of those things we saw in the first half. Just some of those mental mistakes made by Wootton, not able to capitalize on the Poolesville side. It's something you're going to have to do if you want to get back into this game. They give you that gift with the 5-yard penalty instead of a longer 1st and 15, but you just give it right back, and that's something you can't do with how these teams have looked in the first half. As Humphreys is going to fire once again, mentioned to Ngozo, and he's going to have a quick first down. Quick hitter slant pass. Look to beat Carter Rice on the outside. Able to get that one to the inside across the 30 and set up a 1st and 10 after that 1st and 10.
Gain of 11 on the play. 1st and 10 Patriots from 31-yard line.
1st and 10 from the 31 here. And a flat, weird-looking one. Definitely been a start to this first half for sure. Don't know if it's the best first start to this, or sort of second half, I should say. Don't know if it's the best thing I've ever seen or the worst thing or anything in between, really. But we've got penalties, we've got everything just going up the wazoo. So just trying to figure out what the heck's going on to start this second half. But that one looks to be on the Falcons defense. And after getting that first down, 3 penalties after just 1 play of offensive action for the Wootton Patriots. But they had the first down on the slant pass to Ngozo, and that's going to move them up even further for a 1st and 5 at the 36-yard line. Is the fake handoff. Looking for Ngozo to the outside. Running, cuts back, has him once again. Great connection work there by the Tried to go Ngozo deep, didn't have it, worked back in as Humphreys rolled out, whipped the pass to him on the outside, and then he'll move the chains again.
And Canaway now before he picks up 10 yards and Patriots first down. 1st and 10 Patriots on the 45-yard line.
Now so 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Quick hitters. They had the quick hitter on the 1st and 10. Had more of a deep pass on that one, longer developing play. They look for another quick hitter. The screen. He'll have some space to the outside, but a good tackle in the open field by Racer to the 50-yard line for about 4 or 5-yard gain. But tackling him in the open field, not letting a very explosive playmaker in Evan Bush get anything beyond that, can definitely be considered a small victory for the Falcons defense. They'll be catching that top of the screen. Bush will work back down to the bottom. This one's going to be a handoff up the middle. Has some space, but brought down quickly. Good play by Ethan Schlossberg there in his 2nd year on varsity as a starter. That's another one of those guys. It can be an intimidating presence on the defensive line. Need to see him kind of break out and take that next step in the second half if they want to get back into this game. As Wootton tried to go back to Shavon Cormier, one of their best explosive playmakers, not getting much going in a big 3rd and 3 year. Back to the 5 wide. Humphreys takes the snap, looks to his left, has Ngozo quickly. Ngozo tries to make a move. Rice and Anderson bring him down, but that will move the chains, and they have another 1st down. Patriots moving the ball good once again. Some of those quick hitters, just seeing that soft coverage pre-snap for Falcons defense running out with, putting that, seeing they only needed 3, able to get about 7 with that quick comeback.
And first down. Patriots 1st and 10 at the Falcons 38-yard line.
Another 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line here. He's got Cormier in the backfield. Back in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looking across the middle. Has a man. Great pass over the middle. That one's caught. Number 9. Fighting for yards. Down to the Falcons' 17-yard line. And a gorgeous ball there by Humphreys. In between 3 different defenders. Getting it to his tight end. Moving the sticks once again. See, this looks to be a special talent tonight in Hunter Humphreys. Going to all receivers, going to a bunch of different parts of the field, going to a bunch of different guys, coming out in a few different formations. Seems like everything is working for the young QB. And the Falcons defense up to this point just has not had an answer when they forced for third downs, they've given up big plays. And really outside of that, 1st and 2nd and 10 have really been big downs for them. This one's going to be a handoff up the middle, runs into a wall, fights for extra yards, gets out to about the 11-yard line, brought down by Johnny Smith on the inside. Tried to go back to Cormier. Slow start for him on this second half, but the offense as a whole working. And it looks like he is, he's a bit hurt, kind of hobbling off the field. Official timeout here. They try and work him off the field. Coach is trying to get him to go a little bit slower, coming up hobbling, trying to get his way off the field as quick as he possibly could. Coach came in there to shut that down real quick.
7-3 is visible on that.
Hey, while we have an official timeout and break in the action, let the grill team hear you back there. We're doing a great job tonight. Give it up for them. Nice job.
Did you hear that mentioned or next to me by the PA announcer? Yeah, Poolesville Grill Team, one of the best in the state. Obviously, kind of a unique experience we had in Poolesville. More of a countryside rural look. Grill Team, some of the former parents, former dads still living in the area. I mean, what's better than just coming out on Friday night, grilling some burgers, grilling some dogs, some football? I mean, nothing much beats it. A 2nd and 5 from the 11-yard line. Humphreys on the handoff up the middle to Siegel. Siegel met immediately by Hopkins. Fights for extra yards. Only will pick up about 2. Great play by Dylan Hopkins, getting the penetration in the backfield, hitting him immediately, not letting him drag him for too many yards despite the size difference. Setting up another important 3rd down. 3rd and 3 here for the Wootton offense as they're picking up the tempo a little bit as they try and get this one to the end zone. Tries to go to Ngozo back in the end zone. He has him. Touchdown, Wootton Patriots. Hunter Humphreys and Brian Ngozo looking like 07 Brady and Moss. Just an elite connection forming here in the first game of the season. Another pass to the back of the end zone. Ngozo beat the DB on the outside route. Got him with the fade. Goes up for the snag and hauls it in for another Patriots touchdown, extending that lead to 30 points. Snap good, kick is up. No good this time. Look to miss a little bit to the right. From up here, not the greatest. You can't entirely tell where that ball's going. Just kind of trying to rely on what the referee call is there. But 30-point lead for the Wootton offense. Hunter Humphreys and Brian Ngozo. I feel like I've mentioned them about night, but for good reason. Looking like a very strong QB receiver from connection going right here. Working all levels of the field, going deep, going on that short, quick hitters, launching some more over the middle, over to the sideline. And the Poolesville defense looks any better on paper than last year, but the Wootton offense kind of picking them apart early in this one. Anyone tuning in here, another Patriots touchdown, extending their lead 30-0, 7:06 left in the third quarter. I'm Ian Harper with Poolesville Sports Web, kind of working here. First game, senior year, excited to be back up here. Score isn't where we want it to be, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's football. At the end of the day, this is what we love to do. We love watching the games. We love calling the games. This one's going to be kicked to State. Fields this one cleanly, tries to work up the middle, has a little bit of space, hits down around the 30-yard line. Falcons will set up exactly the 30-yard line for their first and 10.
Falcons set up first and 10 around 30-yard line.
Gozo's a lucky charm. We shall Gozo. We get 30 yards, boys. Down by 30. We
Falcons lining up in the backfield. Aiden Kang in the shotgun. Watterson to his left. Takes the shotgun snap. Delayed handoff to Watterson. Fighting his way forward. Breaking a tackle. A big gain on first down. Jerome Watterson out to the 50. He's a bowling ball out there. Works into the Wootton territory. And the first explosive play of the night for the Falcons offense comes by number 8, Jerome Watterson.
Stumbles and rumbles for a Falcon first down. Falcons lose the ball at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, running back, one of their big positions they needed some turnover in last year, had Tyler Schefter, who was the big back senior that graduated, performed very well for the offense last year, trying to get a few guys in there, get reps, got Dylan Hopkins, got Jerome Watterson, a few guys back there trying to make some plays, and Watterson breaks off his first big carry of the game and the Falcons' first big play of the night. As designed quarterback run for Aiden Kang and the Wootton defense, and Manny Perez, the junior linebacker, getting hyped after that one deservedly because he was in there almost immediately to stuff that one out and stop it for a loss of 5.
Second and 15, Falcons.
Second and long for the Poolesville offense. Kang, fake handoff to Watterson, fires across the middle. That'll be picked off. Trying to get to Corey Gattins, but an intercept there. A huge interception. There is a flag at the end of that one. Could be roughing the passer. That one might be coming back. And the second roughing the passer of the game. And another, we talked about this a lot. It feels like I keep bringing it up, but that's another one of those just mental mistakes, getting there a little bit late with that Wootton defender. And all of a sudden, a big turnover that pretty much iced this game turns into a big. Looks to be some dialogue over there, maybe some confusion with the ref, trying to figure out where the ball was spotted earlier, just where to figure out where to put that. Did you say where a few times, but we're going to ignore that. Once again, my first game of the year, too, was still a little bit rusty. It's been a bit since I've done one of these, so bear with me, folks. Obviously not the best audio video setup here. Doing what I can to get the game out to anyone who can't make it to the game. Just trying to broadcast these games and get some reps in, but yeah, got to bear with me through the ups and downs here. As Kang with the fake handoff rolls to his right, passes out to Hopkins, a beautiful one-handed grab. Hopkins lowering the shoulder. He's got a 9-yard gain. A great catch by the junior. Dylan Hopkins working to the outside. Another player this offense has to get going. Looked good for most of the season last year. Was one of their best all-purpose guys. They get that one to him there. Just a little side drop pass, one-handed snag, brings it in, and they do give him the first. Looked to be a bit short, but the rest will give it to him.
Good job cheering, everybody. Especially our pet fans.
Looks to be a little bit of a chain gang malfunction. Obviously saw the tackle, lowered the shoulder, went into the chains. And now they're going to have to try and get that one sorted out.
Well, Hopkins ran right through that thing. Poolesville Day is coming up a week from Saturday. Don't forget to get out and support your Falcons in Falcon Road. Booth will have a tent set up. All kinds of fun and festivity for the whole family.
Got James figured out. Called this second down, then called a first. Back to a second down. Some ref dialogue after that play. A lot of confusion, but it looks like everything is ironed out now. A 2nd and 1 after the nice grab from Hopkins. And Kang's going to hand off up the middle to Watterson. He breaks a tackle, moves to the outside, bowling through defenders, and he's got a first down.
There's our Falcon first down.
Had to hit a lot of people just to get those 5 yards. But the first down, they will take it.
Falcons starting to show some life on offense. 7 minutes fired in the second half. 1st and 10 at the Patriots 21 yards.
It looked like at the end of that play, Tyler Siegel, one of the best players on that Wootton, kind of both sides of the ball playing Ironman, looked to kind of limp off the field. They're checking him out now on the sideline. Big player they do not want to lose at this stage of the game. Obviously up by so much, with this game pretty much out of reach for the Falcons. If you're that Wootton team, when you kind of go to some of those backup players, when you try and get some of your starters out of the game, because with how early it is and with how little these players' bodies have been on the line in the past few months with the season almost a year ago, don't want to get any cramps, don't want to get any injuries that could result in longer-term absences. See if you guys go down, Cage Toop on the Falcon side, Lampofo on the Wootton Patriots side. So at this point of the game, just try not to get any more injuries.
Rescue facilities are located to the left of the concession stand. The practice receptacle is located around the stand. The safeties are usually. We also remind you that at no time during the game are any fans or students allowed to gather under or behind the bleachers.
We got a 1st and 10 here, 4:53 left in the third. Russell Kimball dropping back, fires. That one's a bit short. Getting his first reps of his varsity career, the senior Russell Kimball, his first game with the Poolesville Falcons in now at quarterback. There is another flag on the play. True to the outside receiver and Sam Lewis came up a bit short. Looking at the flag.
And
it will be holding on the offense, setting them back a little bit further. Yeah, 1st and 20 now after the holding. Russell Kimball's brother Reed also playing for the first time. Wide receiver and safety not currently on the field. Let's see what they want to do with Kimball. Obviously later in the game, trying to see what works and what doesn't. Don't know if you want to run him past. Do go with the misdirection handoff to Watterson as he cuts up the middle. Gets inside the 25. And a good gain there. Lost a lot of yards on the first holding. But they get almost all of it back with on a 7-yard gain. Call it 8 yards instead of a 2nd and 12.
23-yard line.
Kimball in the shotgun. Lewis goes in motion. Kimball takes a snap, handoff to Watterson again. Watterson cutting up the middle. Breaks another tackle, pushing defenders, but only gets about 2 yards. Met in the backfield by 2 defenders. Able to move him forward, but doesn't get much after that. About a gain of 1 to set up another 3rd and long. 3:40 left here in the third. 30-0 lead for the Wootton Patriots. I'm going to say, on that Poolesville side, though, Jerome Watterson, the running back, has looked very, very good for them early on, making some of the bigger plays that we haven't seen from other players on this team, giving them a spark. Well, obviously, it might be a bit too late for a big comeback here, with just about 15 minutes total left in game action. But once again, talked about it at halftime if you weren't there, just seeing some of those guys going into the later weeks being able to show some flashes early and getting some of that more team identity that after you lose a lot of seniors, you're going to have to find a new one. As Kimball looking to throw again, fires over the middle into traffic. Can't fit it into Dylan Hopkins, and that'll be incomplete. Kimball tried to show up the arm strength there, tried to fit it into a smaller hole. Not happening, though. 3 Patriot defenders in the area, all coming together to bat that one down. Obviously, at this point in the game, got to go for it on 4th down. 4th and 12 from the 22. Kimball looks to his right, looks back, dropped by Carter Rice, but that wouldn't have been close to a 1st down even if he had caught it. Turnover on downs, and the Wootton offense will once again take over, up by 30 with just under 3 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter.
1st and 10, around 23-yard line.
Wootton offense coming back onto the field. Falcons defense, same. This one will be a handoff. Cuts back to the right. Siegel looks to be okay after the injury, but a good stop by the Falcons defense, limiting that to about probably no gain called on the play. Ethan Schlossberg getting in there, getting to the backfield. Will be a loss of 1, actually. Is 2nd and 11 here for the Wootton offense. Hunter Humphreys, the star quarterback, still in the game. See if they go more conservative play calling and kind of choke the clock. They will once again pass it. Humphreys looking deep, has it in on the outside, tries to get in there, but incomplete on the sideline. Tried to fit that into number 32 on the sideline. Might have actually gotten it there, but just through there was definitely a tough play to try and make.
22-yard line.
A 3rd and 10 now after that incompletion. From their own 20-yard line. Snap to Humphreys. Blitz from Hopkins. He gets it away. That'll be incomplete. Good coverage by Racer Anderson on the outside. Brian and Gozo tried to come back and make play there. Just couldn't get it in time. Good pressure on the side from Dylan Hopkins getting in there, forcing the quick errant throw. And that will be a 4th down and force a punt for the Poolesville defense. The Wootton offense obviously not being forced to punt many times in this game. Haven't been able to mention it, but as we go into the season, do want to see how much losing first-team All-State kicker and punter Sachin Biljani to graduation last year will impact their very good special teams unit from a year ago, and see if losing a guy like him does make that big of an impact, or if they're able to figure out like another guy that works. As Reed Kimball takes a good return inside the 45, but he fumbles the ball, and it looks like Wootton might have recovered it. Depends on the referee's call, but Kimball had some space, worked inside the 40, fumbled it. Wootton picked it up, and it will be their ball. Another turnover for the Falcons offense. they've had some space to work with on some of these punt and kick returns. As you see, either offense coming in after and not being able to capitalize or stuff like that with some of the turnovers, with some of the mistakes. That's something that you just don't want to see. Obviously, still early, a lot of time to fix it going into the season. But just trying to start the season off on a high note, and at this point, trying to go into the next game with some more good signs, with some encouraging things. Not something you want to see there as how good Jack Stokes, their kicker and punter, has been in his own right. Patriots will rush to the line of scrimmage. Interesting tactic here, up 30 already. Still going a bit of some tempo, and that will be a flag.
It could be a delayed game call against the
A
Patriots.
delay of game.
Moving back.
It looked to maybe not a tempo play there. It looked to me they were just kind of, clock was winding a little bit low, just trying to get back and get the snap. Weren't able to do so, and that will be a delay game. Moving back 5 yards. Offensive lineman is down. Didn't see much contact on the play. But the official's timeout will be taken to go look at the offensive lineman. Can't tell the number, can't see who that is just yet. But lying on his back with some of the training staff attending to him with the Poolesville guys heading over there now as well to help. We'll be back in 1 moment. Wootton Patriots 30, Poolesville Falcons 0 with 1:30 left to go in the third quarter.
Cheese and coleslaw. Delicious.
Same as the euphoria. It doesn't matter. Your left hand doesn't matter. You can play with one hand.
All right, let's hear it to number 53, Carter Morton, trying to get on his feet.
Here's back onto the field after the prolonged injury timeout. A 1st and 10 from the Wootton zone 44-yard line. Sending a guy in motion. Humphreys hands the ball off to number 12, but there will be another flag. Plethora of laundry hitting the field in this third quarter. A false start on the offense moves them back 5 yards. Looked like the timeout did them no favors. Kind of got them maybe a little bit out of their groove there instead of in it. So
The Falcons next game will be September
1st
12th,
and
next Thursday
15
here at home.
from their 39-yard line, up by 30. Game's about put away. Now it's just see what you got here on the offensive defensive side. See what you got in that depth tank. See if you can get any more encouraging signs if you go into the next week game. And a fumbled snap by Humphreys, picked up by number 9, working forward, swung by Poolesville defenders. Racer Anderson finished that one off, started by Cage Tupa. Good to see Tupa back in the game after the first half injury. Looks to be okay. But a fumbled snap didn't look like Humphreys was expecting that when it came. Able to pick it up and get it to number 9, the running back. But he was swallowed up almost immediately by the Falcons defense, setting up a 2nd and about 16. Second and call it 18. Humphreys to the back to his right. Gozo to his right, all the way on the outside. Been his favorite target this game so far. They will pass it again. Looks his way across the middle. That will be intercepted. Picked off by the Falcons defense. Will Loftus with a huge interception at the 50, leaping into the air. And the players are getting the student section going. A massive turnover forced by the Falcons defense. And they will take over at the Wootton 47-yard line.
Flag on the field after the play.
There is a late flag on the field after the play was over. Like defensive lineman Hayden Myers and some of the Wootton players were getting into it. See who this is on. Unsportsmanlike kind of on the Poolesville Falcons. Looked Hayden Myers. They didn't like his jawing at the offense, I should say. But after the turnover, they do keep the ball. The penalty occurred after the play. But they do get moved back 5 or 15 yards, and we'll start this drive at the 40. And once again, just a massive defensive play. Haven't been able to get a stop. Hunter Humphreys been carving up that defense the entire game. Tried to go over the middle once again. Too many Perez with Will Loftus. The junior linebacker got over to the pass, jumped up, snagged it out of the air, and got the Falcons the ball back. It's like Aidang back in. Looks across the middle. This one's immediately picked off by Wootton. Falcons get the turnover, but Kang forced it into a Wootton defender's hand, and that possession lasted about 8 seconds. They took out Kimball after a few misfires in the last drive, brought back in Kang, and his first throw is errant and into the hands of a Wootton defender. Possession switching twice in the matter of about a minute and a half. Wootton offense after that interception, lining up from the Falcons' 37-yard line. Keeping Humphreys in the game. He's looking to the outside. Fires, caught by number 12. Big hit on the outside. A good stop by Aaron Canales, the sophomore defensive back for the Falcons, holding just a 2-yard gain. Another completion, though, for Humphreys, getting back into his groove after the interception that ended the last drive. Another thing I want to look out for as this quarter comes to an end, though, with how quickly the ball switched hands twice there. Will there be any miscommunication in this drive? Seeing just how fast that ball, matter of 2 plays, ball was in Wootton hand, then Falcons' hands, and the Patriots' hands once again. See if not having this sort of prolonged wait in between possessions does kind of interfere with either the Poolesville defense or the Wootton offense. Any miscommunication start to pop up out of that. Once again, we are going into the fourth quarter as a flag just flew. Interested to see what this is about. Thrown near the Falcons sideline. Not entirely sure what the call is here. End of the third quarter. Some very extracurriculars apparently, but another unsportsmanlike conduct on the Falcons. Third of the night. And that will give the Wootton Patriots an even better field position.
department like to remind you that no time during the game are fans or students allowed to gather behind or under the bleachers.
Start of the fourth quarter, 30-point lead for the Wootton Patriots as they have the ball inside Falcon territory. A first down. That looks to be the Falcons' 20-yard line just inside the red zone here. Third quarter ended. A few picks on consecutive plays, unnecessary roughness after the play after the quarter ended, potentially touching an official penalty. Once again, Wootton offense in that 5-wide formation as Humphreys looks to go deep, passes over the middle. This one almost intercepted. An uber athletic play there by Reed Kimball to shut that one down. Just not able to come down with the pick, though. And this is one of those things I mentioned earlier. As this game, 30-0, just very out of reach at this point, pretty much a guaranteed Wootton win. You want to see some of those newer players getting into the groove on that Falcons defense and the Falcons offense, just trying to get some of those early season kinks worked out. As they have that tough opponent in Walkersville next Thursday, they lost to in blowout fashion twice last year. If they can start and get something going, obviously not winning the game, but potentially putting some points on the board, maybe getting some stops, just seeing some individual and team-wide flashes as they go the rest of the regular season. As an outside run for the Patriots, breaking tackles, look to get stopped up by 4 defenders, but he will glide into the end zone for a Wootton touchdown. Number 10, do not have a name behind that number, but I probably should get one because that was a nifty, nifty play.
36-point lead. 11 minutes left in the half. That's in the game. Barring a Falcons score the clock will run.
36-0. As just mentioned, a fumbled snap. I don't really know what's happening there. Picked up by Deshaun Stanton. And they will just go down. But as mentioned by the PA announcer aside me, I don't know if you heard that. 36-point lead. The clock will continue to run.
Once again, all students that repent for picking up.
10 minutes and about 15 seconds left in the game. As just mentioned, high school rules and MCPS. 35-point lead or greater. The clock will consistently be running. So obviously currently in a timeout here, but 10:03, 10:02, 10:01, 10 minutes left. Clock continuing to run. So Wootton Patriots up 36-0 in the Falcons season and home opener. I mentioned a little bit earlier how the Wootton Patriots did lose their first team All-State kicker and punter Sachin Bijlani. Obviously graduated last year, was a star senior for them. Seen a missed extra point. We've seen that fumbled snap. Definitely not entirely on the kicker's fault there. That was more the snap and the hold. But as this season progresses, Wootton fans, that's something you might want to watch out for. Losing a name and presence like Bijlani and going to a more inexperienced player just to see how that kind of unfolds, how they're able to develop with that. Patriots will look to kick this one off back to the Falcons after scoring another touchdown. Line drive kick once again, fielded by Kimball. Runs, gets out a big hit on the sideline. Out around the 30. Kimball able to hold on to that one. Fumbled the last punt return, but a good return here. Takes the line drive, bounce kick out to around the 30-yard line to set up a 1st and 10 for the Falcons with Russell Kimball, senior quarterback, backing up Aiden Kang, coming back onto the field after Kang's interception on the last drive.
17-yard return. 1st and 10 Falcons on the 32-yard line. 8 minutes left in the game with running clock.
32-yard line with a 1st and 10. Clock still running under 8 minutes and 15 seconds. This one nears completion. 36-point lead. 36-0. Wootton Patriots over Poolesville Falcons. Definitely a rough patch to start the season for Poolesville. With a very new squad, they look to get something going here on one of the last drives of the game as Kimball looks to the backfield high for Jerome Watterson. And they're calling it a fumble. He's going to walk into the end zone. Don't entirely know what the call is here. And looked to be an incompletion from live view.
Backwards pass.
But they're calling it a backwards pass. A bit unsure about that. Refs coming together to talk about it. Took my eyes off the play a little bit there because it looked to be a standard incompletion. But the Patriots, number 10, picked that one up, ran it all the way back. Officials kind of let it play. So we'll see how they rule this. But at the moment, that is a fumble recovery for a touchdown on a backwards pass from Russell Kimball. And it looks like that will indeed be the call. 42-0 lead for the Wootton Patriots. Another odd-looking play for that Poolesville offense. Russell Kimball trying to get him some reps in with Aiden Kang struggling in the first game. Looks to be a timeout called by head coach Brian Tupa. Going to talk to the ref, ask him what the heck is going on because that looked very standard as the incompletion. But calling it a backwards pass, definitely an interesting call. Letting the guy play, I think, is the right call to let him play. But from my view up here, did look like an incompletion. And that's, they will call it a fumble recovery for a touchdown. 6:47 left on the clock. Wootton will look to kick in an extra point after the miss last time to make a 43-0 lead. 6:40 left on the clock. Snap good, hold good, kick is up, and the kick is good. 43-0 Patriots over Falcons. They kick off this one, more of a fly ball. Stanton fields it inside the 10, coming back out 15, past the 20, has some space to work with, has the sideline, cuts back to the inside. Which got about number
37-yard return by Quan Stanton. The personal foul against the Patriots. The Patriots territory. First and 10 Falcons. On the Patriots 40-yard line. 3:50 left in the contest.
Run to the outside. Watterson inside the 40. Pick up about 2 yards on 1st and 10. Another after the play flag. To be the 4th unsportsmanlike conduct on the Falcons. Let's be on the defense, actually. Once again, clock winding under 3 minutes. Falcons trying to get something going here on offense to take into next week. They'll be inside the 25-yard line here. Was about a 2-yard run, turns into about a 17-yard gain, but the officials timeout. It'll be a defensive timeout, actually.
The Patriots call the timeout. The athletic department would like to thank you for helping us keep our facilities clean by using proper test located around the stadium. As the game comes to a conclusion, we ask that you practice the same spirit of competitive sportsmanship shown throughout the game. When the game comes to a close, we ask that you clear the stadium to meet the student athletes at the appropriate place outside of the stadium. Students who are being picked up, we ask that you move to the parking lot to be picked up.
First and 10 here, 2:32 on the clock, 43-0 as Kimball going to step back, fire one across the middle, complete to Sam Lewis, working inside the 10-yard line. First, Poolesville Falcons completion for Russell Kimball, and that strike to Sam Lewis moves them inside the 10-yard line, clock winding to 2.5 minutes.
The Patriots 8-yard line.
The first time they've been inside the 10-yard line all game, as you can see, no points. That's pretty obvious at this point, but
At least it's not 0.
Kimball in the shotgun, motions Lewis, takes the snap, hands it off to Watterson. Watterson coming up to the left, tries to break a tackle, leans back into the defensive line, and gains about 2 yards to the 5.
Gains 3 on the play. Second and goal for the Falcons. Take a timeout. 1:44 left.
Yeah, an offensive timeout with 1:44 left.
All I do is win if we get a touchdown.
All I do is win.
Second and goal, Hugh from the 5-yard line. First red zone trip all night with 1:44 left here in the 4th. Kimball in the shotgun, Tupu to his right, Watterson to his left. Kimball backs up, fires across the middle, incomplete. Tried to get it there to either Corey Gattins or Dylan Hopkins. Couldn't really tell. but broken up by the defensive line.
Third and goal, Falcons.
Third and goal from the 4. Under a minute left. Kimball takes the snap, hands it off to Watterson, tries to cut to the right, back inside to the left. Nothing going all the way back at the 8. Lampofo hyped up about that one.
Falcons take a timeout, fourth down.
Another big stop in the backfield for that Wootton Patriots defense, something they have done all night long. Another timeout for this fourth down. Obviously, with the running clock, there's 45 seconds left. Got to kind of call some of these timeouts, set something up. Big fourth down here. Obviously not for any game implications, but just trying to get some points on the board to say that you have something going your way.
Falcons run first and not home.
Fourth and goal from the 7-yard line here for the Falcons. 45 seconds left in the game. Kimball in the backfield. Goes the fake to Watterson. Fires to the end zone just out of the reach of Carter Rice. Clearly upset about that one. That will flip the field and take this one to the end. A 43-0 win for the Wootton Patriots as this clock ticks down to 0. Thank you guys for watching and listening. It's been Ian Harper of the Poolesville Sports Web. Hopefully we can pick up next week against Walkersville. Next home game in 2 weeks. Thank you all.